Man, I'm sitting here on a Monday morning drinking my coffee, and this draft is not letting me sleep, for real. My name's Victor, this is Report Vikings, and today I had to come sit down with you guys because way too much is happening around this team right now. We've got two topics that, if you look at them separately, might seem like your average draft news, but when you put them together, you start to see just how big of a moment Minnesota is living through right now. First, there's talk that the Vikings could make a bold trade-up in the draft to land a safety that a lot of people consider the best player available in the 2026 class. This guy played at Ohio State, was an All-American the last 2 seasons, and analysts from the biggest NFL outlets are placing him in the top 10 prospects in this draft, some even top 6. If you don't know his name yet, stick around till the end because we're going to be talking a lot about him today. And second, the team was also named the perfect fit for a Day 2 wide receiver, a guy out of Alabama who could be exactly the missing piece in the receiving corps to help the Vikings' new quarterback finally show his full potential. 2 sides of the ball, 2 real needs, and a draft that is right around the corner. This isn't just random speculation. This is the Vikings showing they are not here to play around this offseason. But before we dive deep into both of these topics, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button right now. We're chasing the goal of 5,000 subscribers, and every single one makes a real difference. Drop a like too. It helps the channel grow and keeps this kind of content coming your way every day. All right, let's get into it because there's a lot to break down here. All right, let's talk about this. You know me, I'm always keeping an eye on what's happening around this team. And when I saw this mock draft from Rob Rang over at Fox Sports, I had to stop and really think about it. Because this isn't just another random prediction. This one actually makes sense. And it's the kind of bold move that could change the trajectory of this defense. So here's what's being projected. Rang has the Vikings trading up to pick number 10 overall to select Ohio State safety Caleb Downs. Right now, Minnesota sits at pick 18. That means jumping up 8 spots. 8 spots in the top 10 of the NFL draft is not cheap. Rang himself said it could cost the Vikings both of their third-round picks. That's picks 82 and 97 gone, just like that. Now, I know what some of you are already thinking. 2 third-round picks for a safety? Is that really worth it? And look, I get it. I understand the hesitation. But hear me out, because when you actually look at who Caleb Downs is, the conversation changes real fast. This kid was an All-American at Ohio State the last 2 seasons. In 2025 alone, he had 68 combined tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, and even a sack. A sack from a safety. That tells you everything you need to know about how this guy plays the game. And the analysts, they're not holding back on him either. Mel Kiper over at ESPN has Downs ranked as the number 6 overall prospect in this entire draft class. Daniel Jeremiah from NFL Network put him at number 9 on his latest big board. We're not talking about some mid-round flyer here. We're talking about a potential top 10 talent being discussed as a Viking. What really gets me, though, is how Kiper described him. He said Downs is basically an extension of the defensive coordinator on the field. Think about that for a second. The football IQ on this guy. He came in as a freshman at Alabama, learned Nick Saban's entire system, and then transferred to Ohio State and dominated again. That's not normal. That's the kind of player who walks into an NFL locker room and contributes from day 1. And Lance Zierlein from NFL.com called him an alpha who brings immense juice on every single snap. I love that. That's exactly the kind of energy this secondary needs right now. Because let's be real with each other for a second. The safety room for the Vikings heading into this draft, it's not inspiring. Josh Metellus has been a starter for 3 years. He's a solid veteran, I respect that. But Jay Ward has started just 5 games in his entire career. 5 games. That's your projected starter on the other side. That's the reality of where we are right now. If the Vikings land Caleb Downs, they immediately have a young, high IQ, high motor safety who can start from week 1 and grow into a cornerstone of Brian Flores' defense for years. You move Ward back to a reserve role where he fits better, Metellus stays as your experienced presence, and suddenly that secondary looks completely different. Yes, giving up 2 third-round picks hurts. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't. Depth matters, especially later in a draft.
But the Vikings already have 9 picks in this draft. 9! And as Rang pointed out, the Kyler Murray signing already proved that this front office is not afraid to make aggressive moves when they believe in a player. If they believe in Downs the way these analysts do, then trading up and going to get him is exactly the kind of savvy, calculated boldness that separates teams that compete from teams that just show up. This is a team trying to win now. Kyler Murray is here. Kevin O'Connell is building something. And you don't build a championship defense by playing it safe every single year. Now, we just spent a good chunk of time talking about what this defense could look like. But here's the thing. Defense wins championships, sure, but you still gotta score. And there's a second story today that has everything to do with making sure Kyler Murray has the weapons he needs to do exactly that. An ESPN analyst just called a specific receiver a perfect fit for this Vikings offense. And honestly, when you hear the reasoning, it's hard to argue. That's coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Okay, so now we shift to the offensive side of the ball. And this one hits a little different for me personally because it's directly connected to the success of our new quarterback. And if you're just joining us for the first time, welcome to Report Vikings. My name is Victor, I'm a Vikings fan just like you, and this channel exists because of people like you who show up every day for this team. We're pushing hard toward 5,000 subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed yet, do it right now. It's free, it takes 2 seconds, and it genuinely helps this channel keep growing. Drop a like on the video too while you're at it. All right, let's get into it. So here's the situation. The Vikings brought in Kyler Murray this offseason, former #1 overall pick, a guy with real dual threat ability and the kind of upside that gets a fan base genuinely excited again. Kevin O'Connell now has a quarterback who, if everything clicks, could become the long-term franchise guy in Minnesota. That's a big deal. That's the kind of stability this team has been searching for. But here's where I start paying close attention. You can't just drop a new quarterback into a room and expect magic to happen without the right pieces around him. And right now, the Vikings' receiver depth behind Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison is honestly a little thin. Think about it. Jalen Naylor, who was your WR3, is gone. He signed with the Raiders in free agency. Now look, Naylor wasn't a superstar, but he was a reliable third option who knew the offense. Losing that kind of familiarity and depth matters more than people give it credit for. And what about Ty Felton? The Vikings used a third-round pick on him in 2025, so there's clearly some belief in him as a prospect. But as a rookie, he caught all 3 of his targets for 25 yards. That's it. 3 catches, 25 yards. That's not nearly enough to feel confident about him stepping into a bigger role in year 2, at least not yet. So when ESPN's Ben Solak comes out and says he has a receiver who is a perfect fit for this Vikings offense, I'm all ears. And the name he lands on is Jeremy Bernard out of Alabama. Now, I want you to really sit with that for a second, because the timing of this is everything. The Vikings go into this draft with 9 picks, 9 selections. That's a lot of ammunition. And if there's a day 2 receiver who an ESPN analyst is calling a perfect fit for what Kevin O'Connell is building around Kyler Murray, that's a conversation you don't brush off. That's a conversation you take seriously. Because here's what I keep coming back to. Justin Jefferson is elite. He's one of the best receivers in the entire league, and we all know that. Jordan Addison has shown real promise, and I believe in him. But a top-heavy receiver group is exactly that, top-heavy. The moment something happens to one of your top 2 guys, or the moment opposing defenses figure out how to take them away, you need that third option to step up and make plays. Right now, that third option is not clearly defined. Kyler Murray is coming into a brand new system, a brand new city with everything to prove. This is his shot at a fresh start, and I genuinely want to see him succeed here. But for that to happen, the front office needs to give him every possible weapon. You don't invest in a quarterback like that and then leave the supporting cast incomplete. That's why this conversation about adding a capable day 2 receiver in this draft matters so much. You have the picks, you have the need, and according to Solak, you might have the perfect guy sitting right there waiting. And hey, if you've been watching this video all the way through, first of all, thank you. That means everything to this channel. Second, we are so close to 5,000 subscribers, and I would love nothing more than to hit that milestone with this community. So if you haven't subscribed yet, right now is the moment. Hit subscribe, drop a like, and if you want to keep up with everything happening around this team, turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Now, let me bring this whole thing together for you, because when you look at both of these stories side by side, something bigger starts to come into focus. On one side,
You have the Vikings potentially making an aggressive trade-up in the draft to land what many analysts consider the best safety in this entire class, a high IQ, instinctive defender who could immediately transform Brian Flores' defense and bring the kind of playmaking the secondary desperately needs. On the other side, you have a real conversation happening about adding a receiver who fits this offense to make sure that Kyler Murray has a complete group of weapons around him, not just two elite options at the top, but real depth that can sustain a full season. Put those two things together, and what do you see? You see a franchise that is not rebuilding. You see a team that is building to compete right now. This isn't a team stockpiling picks and waiting for the future. This is a team making calculated, bold decisions on both sides of the ball because the window is open and they know it. Is it a little nerve-wracking? Absolutely. Giving up draft capital always comes with risk. Counting on a receiver we haven't seen dominate yet comes with questions. But I'd rather be in this conversation, the bold moves conversation, the winning now conversation, than sitting here talking about tanking and rebuilding again. The 2026 draft is right around the corner. These decisions are coming fast. And I don't know about you, but I'm watching every single move this front office makes with everything I've got. Because this Vikings team, the one being built right now, feels different, and I'm not ready to let go of that feeling just yet. Stay locked in. More coverage coming. Go Vikings.